So Moses goes to Sinai. He's there with the children of Israel, and God calls all of the children of Israel to go up to the top of the mountain. So when Moses goes, the children of Israel, he's like, all right, guys, let's go. We're going to go to the top of the mountain now. And they all say, no, we don't want to go. You go and tell us what God says. So they all are like, we don't want to meet with God. You go meet with God and then tell us where he's at.
Wait, real quick. Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
History of the World. Remember this?
I have never actually seen.
You've never seen that. So he goes, I bring you the 15, and he drops one of them. 10 commandments. Yeah.
It's kind of like if you watch The Passion of Christ, you need to turn around and immediately watch The Life of Brian. So Moses goes up to the top of the mountain, right? And Joshua, his disciple, goes halfway up the mountain. He's coming down with the 2 pillars, the 2 tablets. And the way I kind of imagine it is that God already knows Moses. He's already done this whole plague thing and it's burning bush jazz stuff. There's a Disney movie made about his childhood, So Moses gets to the top of Sinai, and the way I imagine it happening is God looks at him, he's like, Moses, what's up, dude? Dude, where's everyone else? Moses, right? I called 3.5 million people up here. Why is it just you, bro? Did the Evite not go out? Did you not? What's the deal? What happened? And so he comes down, and so God gives him the 10 Commandments. What my view is of the 10 Commandments is that they are the original algorithm for the human spirit. If you do these 10 things, then you will have a good life. No thought, no morality, no value seeking required. I've come to believe a few things that are moderately heretical at face value, but if you give me 2 minutes, I'll explain it. And so I've got a few of those things.
Cool.
But so this 10 Commandments idea is that people don't want to take control of their lives. They want to give their control up to God. And of course, the whole purpose of the tree of knowledge of good and evil is that God wants you to choose life. That's the point. You need to know the difference. You need to know between prickly and smooth before you can choose smooth. And Moses comes down and he brings everybody what they wanted, which was to not have to take control or responsibility for their own lives. He's like, here's the 10 Commandments. Do this. Then you'll never have to worry about anything. So then they do it. Well, then 500 years later, after this period of time called the Judges, they're all bothered again because they got this some of the law. They got the books of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, which ostensibly were written by Moses. So you get the 10 Commandments, and then you get 619 commandments in the Torah. All right. Well, then they say, well, man, this sucks too. We want to be like everyone else. We want a king. Having all these laws isn't enough. We want the laws and we want a tyrant. Right?
Sure.
So then so you can see that what they're wanting is more algorithms for more control so that they continue to take less and less responsibility for their lives. Over time, of course, they get kidnapped, they get captured, they go to Babylon, they suffer tremendously. And then they get back from this whole suffering Babylonian experience. And what's the first thing they do when they get back? They rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. They start rebuilding their value hierarchy. They start putting their world back in place together. Now, I have a personal belief, going back to Jungian thought. My wife says to me the other day, she says, why do men have to slay fathers? In the hero's journey, why does the son have to slay the father? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Isn't it kind of like the mama bird pushing the baby bird out of the nest? Isn't it a similar thing?
Yeah, I think what I've come to believe at this point is that the son, I think, slay the father. I think that's a hyperbole of some Greek tragedy. I think that the son must overtake the father, overcome the father. So in a way, if you look at it in the biblical arc, Jesus actually overtakes the father because the father can't save mankind through the law and through algorithms, but Jesus can save the people by eliminating the law and restoring it back to first principles of love.
Right. I always thought of Jesus as more of an anarchist, really.
He was,
yeah.
Certainly.
Something I always thought was really funny is he said, don't worship false idols. And then they put him on a stick and wave him in your face all the time,
This is actually a very interesting problem because the Protestants agreed with that. And so the Protestants went and got rid of almost all of the symbols. If you read the opening few chapters of Archetypes of the Collective Unconscious by Jung, he basically talks about how the Protestants got rid of all the symbology. And when they did that, they also got rid of almost all of that power. And so it's hard to know, like, is the idea of Jesus on the cross, is it an idol, or is it the removal? If you remove it, are you removing an idol, or are you removing the power of the symbol?
So yeah, on one level, I think it does make sense to point out the hypocrisy, but then you're making it less potent because now it's abstract. Now it's just text. Now it's like dry and sterile.